Welcome to Coming Home, Survive and Thrive in Homeschooling. Easter and the importance of rituals. We've talked before about using seasons and celebrations as the skeleton of your year's planning. Easter is coming up, and for most of you, it marks a change of season. Not only that, for many, it is a time of religious significance. Even if the faith origin doesn't feature in your household, it would be a rare thing to not observe Easter weekend with hot cross buns, chocolate in a variety of forms, special meals and outings with family and friends. For us in the West, it is of significance to remember our Christian roots. This is why we have Easter, and I suggest it is a good idea to be sure your children know as little or a lot of that heritage as is important to you. If you choose not to, ponder the thought that your privilege to choose this is because you have the freedom that Christian worldview brought in the first place. There are few other religiously based cultures and countries which would grant that privilege. We know the original Easter celebration was at the time of the ancient spring festival. For the early church, it was easier to integrate the Christian festival of Easter rather than ban the spring festivals. However, it wasn't an arbitrary pick of dates. The death of Jesus on Good Friday was over the annual Jewish Passover festival, which falls around this time, and the resurrection is recorded as being on the Sunday of that same weekend. Significantly, Easter is about new life, which made it easy to integrate with the spring festivals, also celebrating new life. That's where the symbol of the egg came from. But the Easter bunny? I don't know. Lots of new rabbits bouncing around in spring, I suppose. An ubiquitous symbol of fertility and new life. Breeding like rabbits is an old saying. In the northern hemisphere, it is the spring, with all those signs of new life, flowers and buds bursting forth on previously dormant or seemingly dead trees, lambs, calves, chickens, and other animal young. It's easy to see the significance and symbolism of new life. For us in the southern hemisphere, it is the autumn. The weather is turning to cooler times, the deciduous trees are beautiful, and winter is beckoning. Even so, we still understand the symbolism of the change of the season. It brings with it the certainty of successful provision in our food crops, and we are prepared for winter. And the faithfulness in the regularity of the changing season. Here are some Easter activities for you to do. 1. Easter always falls on the closest full moon. This is why the date varies each year. You can enjoy moonlit nights, and if you have a telescope, view the moon. 2. It could be a good time to bring moon cycles into your home education. 3. What are some traditions embedded in our cultures and others? Palm Sunday, Pancake Day, Easter egg hunts. There are many, and some particular to your heritage. These are important to know about and what they mean, as well as the participating in them. 4. Read about the story of Jesus. Depending on the age of your children, you'll have to decide on how much you want them to know about crucifixion. I do caution the showing of movie enactments to young children, perhaps under the age of 13. However, books that don't go into detail may be okay. I remember being shocked at some of the detail when I was about 10 or 11. I was too young, and I still recall my shock some 50 years later. 5. Enjoy the time off. Do you have a carnival or an Easter show or fair in your area? Rides, games, candy floss. 6. Learn about what other Christians do. Some observe Lent. If you're an evangelical or another denomination, you may not be familiar with Lent. There is a good reason why this ancient tradition has been observed since the 4th century AD. 7. Is there a Stations of the Cross you can visit? It's not just traditional Catholic and Anglican churches, but some evangelical churches have been hosting these. Many are experiential stations, such as seeing large nails or hammering them into wood, piles of prickles or thorns, a Last Supper table to participate in, or make a cross with flax, or draw. There are areas for meditation and prayer. For many participants, these tactile experiences are deeply meaningful and a chance to think carefully about life. 8. Look at art from the ancient early depictions through to the modern. Make a study of the marble Pieta in St. Peter's at the Vatican. Think about what it means to let your children go into the world knowing they will be hurt in some way, and the damage you will do to them if you protect them from all harm as they grow. It is the sacrifice of every mother reflected in the face of Mary as she holds her dead son. The writings of Dr. Jordan B. Peterson are helpful to think through this Pieta message. For those of you looking for Christian experience for your family over the Easter weekend, here is a general plan of how we celebrated in our family over the years. On the Thursday evening, it is Passover. Even if it isn't, that's the night we chose for our ritual meal. We have roast lamb, mint sauce for bitter herbs, flat or pita bread for unleavened bread, and grape juice. These elements represent the Last Supper. We also have roast veggies and other food to round out the meal. I would find all the candle holders around the house, get nice goblets out, and any other symbolism we wanted. Our small carved wooden cross, perhaps some greenery from the garden, some Gregorian chants playing in the background. Our children always loved this evening because it was different. We ate by candlelight, and we did it every year. We haven't missed a year since we started this tradition. As they grew into adulthood, most still return each year to our Passover table. For those whom keep the faith of their fathers, it holds a faith significance where we can consider afresh what happened at the Last Supper and all the symbolism from the Old Testament pointing towards this moment in time. For those who do not necessarily hold to faith, it is still an important and meaningful meal and evening. For us all, it binds us together with a special event we have done every year since our eldest's early childhood. It creates the reality of certainty and stability that as the years go by, there are some things which stay the same and undergird all we do and what happens in our lives during the year. Stability and certainty, even during harder times. It binds our family together and constantly reminds us of the importance of our family unit and that forgiveness, acceptance, and a deep sense of belonging and love are our realities. The act of coming together and participating in the ritual of our own Passover creates all this reality simply by the ritual itself. In sociology, and I imagine psychology, it is well known that rituals and traditions have value as they tend to create the reality the ritual represents. And this is what we are doing year after year, recalling, remembering, and strengthening our faith and family. On the Friday, we would make a small cross, hammer nails, write on it, and find some gorse, bougainvillea, or another thorny plant to feel the prickliness. Make the experience light, and I don't think it's a time to preach to your family. Read the appropriate scriptures, chat, answer questions, and pop the cross somewhere you can see it for the remainder of the weekend. Saturday was for making chocolate eggs and any other Easter baking we fancied with our children. I'm not implying that we didn't buy commercial eggs and hot cross buns. We did. But remember, you're creating memories and traditions, not obligations. Saturday was also the day when we would go to the Easter show or fair. Go out and enjoy yourselves. Sunday morning, we have a breakfast of fish and hot bread rolls. This is recalling the breakfast Jesus prepared on the shore of the Sea of Galilee in the days after the resurrection. The chocolate goodies are also given out. Resurrection Sunday is the highlight of the Christian calendar. It is the beginning of our new life as shown by Jesus' resurrection, the certainty of our own. N.T. writes, "The day the revolution began" is an excellent read on this. Some of our family will come back to our house for Sunday morning breakfast. It is a precious time. Perhaps you will attend church too. There are scriptures to read for each of these events. For Thursday night, read from the Passover in Exodus, Jesus and the Last Supper, and also from Paul's writing in 1 Corinthians. You will find Good Friday readings in the Gospels. And for Sunday, read the account of the women going to the tomb and the later story of Jesus on the shore of the Sea of Galilee. Whatever you choose to do over this ancient time of observance and celebration, enjoy your family, create memories and new traditions. My prayer for you is you would know God's blessing on your family. If this podcast has encouraged you and given ideas, then please share it around. Subscribe and like, as this helps more homeschooling parents just like you to come across these podcasts. Our website, cominghomeinfo.com, is a click away from resources, and if you want to book a consultation with me, I'll see you next time.